Hello, deadlings. Welcome back to Exploring the Entity, where killers, survivors, and secrets collide. I'm your co host, Mark.
And Ducati. On today's episode, we'll dive into some base information about survivors Dwight, Meg, Claudette, Jake, Nia, and Laurie.
Starting us off, Dwight Fairfield is one of the first survivors to be introduced into the game upon its release. He is American and takes on the role of a nervous leader. Dwight was geeky and scrawny through high school. He always wanted to be one of the cool kids, but somehow never had the charisma. He tried out for the football team but was cut. The basketball team didn't even take a look, and his grades were distinctly below average. One weekend, on a team building exercise from his dead end job, Dwight's boss led them deep into the woods before breaking out his family recipe moonshine. Dwight remembered taking the first sip before waking up late the next morning all alone. During the night, the others had abandoned him. Once again, the laughingstock of the community, Dwight tried to hike his way out of the woods. That was the last anyone ever heard of Dwight Fairfield. Dwight isn't the typical guy you think of when someone says survivor. He lacks that certain pizzazz, and without his glasses, he's more or less blind. But as the sun sets and the woods come alive, Dwight clasps his rat race life, making sure that he'll live to see another day even though something unimaginable is after him. Dwight wouldn't stop. He'll survive no matter what. As others spent hours being seen in high school, he spent hours becoming invisible and avoiding danger. And it doesn't matter if it's danger in the hallway or dangers in the woods. Survival is key. As other employees panic when terror infects them, Dwight makes use of his disturbing teen experience. The tables have now turned, and now others need to follow Dwight's firm directions if they are to survive, as he knows how to disappear. Moving on to perks. Bond. Within 36 meters, you see other survivors' auras. Leader. Within 10 meters of you, other survivors cleanse totems 30% faster, heal 30% faster, open exit gates 30% faster, sabotage hooks 30% faster, unhooks survivors 30% faster, and unlocks chests 30% faster. Prove thyself. For each other survivor within 4 meters of you, all survivors repair 10% faster.
Meg Thomas is an American female taking on the role of energetic athlete. She was introduced to the game upon the game's release on June 14, 2016. Her lore goes, perhaps it was her mother that had instilled the fierce streak in her, or maybe it was her father that left them when she was a baby. Meg excelled at schoolwork, but she was off the rails. Fortunately, an athletics coach encouraged her to channel her misspent energy on the track. She motivated herself into becoming a high school star and earned a scholarship to college. When her mother fell ill, Meg decided to give up her chance at college to care for the woman who had raised her. One summer's day, on a long run deep in the woods, Meg vanished. Search as they did, they never found her body. Meg is one of those who is just simply filled with energy. Unfocused and uncontrollable energy that had to come out. As a kid, it came through rattleness and rebellion. Someone had to focus Meg before something went terribly wrong. Fortunately, someone did. She started to run, maybe from something undefined that fueled her energy. Soon, to run equaled life. But to run now might attract those beings that crave the pain of others. But as she runs from something instead of towards it, she understands something. She understands that speed is not of the essence, it's reaching that finishing line. Rather last, but still breathing, she deludes whatever is out there as she glides through obstacles in fear, those managing to stay alive. We see this through her perks, starting with adrenaline. When all generators are completed, if you are downed or injured, heal instantly. Then, ignoring exhausted. You gain 50% haste for 3 seconds. You gain exhausted for 40 seconds. Next, quick and quiet. You hide in lockers and vault silently. The killer's not alerted, and it goes on a 15-second cooldown. Lastly, sprint burst. Whenever you start running, you gain 50% haste for 30 seconds. You gain exhausted for 40 seconds.
Next up, Claudette Morale. She is a Canadian woman of African descent. She's another one of the 4 survivors introduced upon game release on June 14, 2016. From the day that her parents gave Claudette her first science kit, she loved experiments. Her single-minded pursuit led to an early scholarship at a great college. It was a huge decision to leave Montreal, but the chance was too good to pass up. Her introverted nature means that chat rooms and forums are now her best source of social interaction. Her new favorite activity is to answer botany questions for others under her new moniker of Science Girl. One evening during a long bus ride back from the city, Claudette took a stroll that would change her life. It only took a minute for her to get completely disoriented in the thick woods. She never found her way back. Her forum only started to wonder where she was a week after she stopped posting. Claudette is not the outgoing type. Her brilliance provided her with a social handicap, and she has fled the real world for chat rooms and forums. Botany and studies fill her life, and even though she yearns for something else, it won't come via a modem. Being thrown into a real-life situation can feel awkward and forced. But as she is used to shutting out the world, she suddenly finds hope in this inexplicable darkness that is slowly devouring her. A plant, a tree, a bush. Simple greenery that might save a life. She hides within and amongst them. Her knowledge and skills flourish as gruesomeness roams free around her. Moving on to her perks. We have botany knowledge. You heal 50% faster. Empathy. Within 128 meters, you see the auras of injured survivors. Self-care. You can heal yourself at 35% speed.
Jake Park is a South Korean male known in-game as the Solitary Survivalist. He is one of 4 survivors that released with the game on June 14, 2016. Growing up, the son of a wealthy CEO was always going to put pressure on Jake Park. When his brother graduated with honors from Yale, the pressure on Jake intensified. Jake just wasn't the academic type, but his father never really understood his refusal to embrace the expensive education he lavished upon him. Eventually, Jake rebelled by dropping out of school entirely. Now Jake lives off the grid on the edge of the woods. It's been years since he spoke to his father, but his mother checks in once in a while. It was she who eventually called the police. The cop said he got lost in the woods, and a search party looked for days, but gave up as bad weather rolled in. Despite passionate pleas from his mother, they never resumed the search, and Jake went down in history as another casualty of the woods. Jake's destiny was set even inside his mother's womb. Heir to wealth, noble manners, and caretaker of the family reputation legacy. Dream torture, it's not pain that breaks a man. It's immense pressure. And Jake couldn't handle any more pressure. Instead, he sought the opposite of fine dining and maids. He left the grid and ended up with a forest as closest neighbor. A self-made outsider, Jake understands nature. He's not there to tame something, rather, him becoming pharaoh. Remove the brutal killers that seek out blood to drain, and Jake would feel just at home. No Wi-Fi, no Fortune 500 companies, no father or mother. Years away from modern life has given Jake a new feel for problems. Pain is just an obstacle that hinders you from getting fed. No matter what is hunting you, you need to stay one step ahead. Struggle, blend in, adapt. Just don't make it easy for others to erase you from the Earth's surface. Jake's perks start with Calm Spirit. You do not scare crows or scream, you bless and cleanse totem and unlock chests silently but 30% slower. Next, we have Iron Will. While injured and not exhausted, your grunts of pain are 100% quieter. Lastly, Saboteur. Within 56 meters of where another survivor was picked up by the killer and is being carried, you see the auras of hooks and scourge hooks.
Next up, we have Nia Carlson, is a woman from Sweden. Her role in-game is as an urban artist. She was brought into the game in Chapter 1, The Last Breath, on August 18th, 2016. Nia is of Swedish descent, a tagger and a bit of a troublemaker. She started rebelling when she was 16. She dyed her hair black and cut it in a way she liked it. In her early teens, her parents thought she lacked the thing that makes everyone else normal. She may have gone too far with her friends, not thinking well, dared her to tag the old asylum. She was never seen again. Now she tries her best to survive the entity's dangers. Nia grew up in a small town of Ho in Sweden. She had a happy childhood even though her mom and dad worked hard. As the opportunity to move to the U.S. became a reality, she started acting out. Her parents didn't really pick up on this as a reaction to their move. Nia was forced to leave her friends and life behind. Nia shied away from what her parents considered normal. Instead, she took refuge in skate parks, and her tag Mashsticks was seen more or less all over her new hometown. And Nia made a sport out of tagging government buildings. Finally, Nia's parents became used to Nia disappearing for a few days on end. As she's nimble and almost cat-like, she's able to evade deadly dangers. Years on skateboards has proven worthy training, and keeping her head down, avoiding the fuzz, can be applied to all dangers. The only question is whether she has some interest in not giving up. Moving on to her perks, we have Balanced Landing. Whenever you fall from at least 1.2 meters, you gain 50% haste for 3 seconds, you gain Exhausted for 40 seconds, your stagger is 75% shorter, and your grunts from falling are 100% quieter. Streetwise. The first time you deplete an item's charges, you see the killer's aura for 8 seconds. Whenever you loot an item from a chest, it has 80% more charges. Urban Evasion. While crouched, you gain 100% haste.
Laurie Strode is an American woman with the role of determined survivor from the 1978 horror movie film Halloween. She came into the game in Chapter 2, the Halloween chapter, on October 25, 2016. Sadly, as of January 19, 2026, she's no longer purchasable due to Dead by Daylight no longer having the license. Her lore. You never know what really matters in life until you realize it might end soon. Laurie is one of those who just wants a quiet life in the suburbs, hanging out with her friends, family, and maybe go on a date or two. Laurie is a typical teenager. You could pass her on the street and not think twice. She does her homework and is liked by her friends, teachers, and family. A simple night of babysitting turns into something that will forever change the course of her young life. A knife swooshing through the air, screams from afar, noises that play tricks with her mind. But not Laurie. She's made of something stronger, something that won't give up. You see this in her perks, starting with Decisive Strike. Until all generators are completed, whenever you are unhooked for the next 60 seconds, when the killer picks you up, once per trial, hit a special skill check, and you stun the killer for 4 seconds and become the Obsession. This is disabled by conspicuous actions. At the start of the trial, you are more likely to be the Obsession. Object of Obsession. While you are the Obsession, every 30 seconds, the killer sees your aura for 3 seconds. While the killer sees your aura, you see their aura. You cleanse totem 6% faster, you heal 6% faster, and you repair 6% faster. When the trial starts, you're more likely to be the obsession. Sole survivor. Whenever a survivor dies, you earn 1 token. For each token within 24 meters, the killer cannot see your aura. When all other survivors are dead, you repair 75% faster. You open exit gates and the hatch 50% faster. When the trial starts, you're more likely to be the obsession.
Thank you for joining us here at Exploring the Entity. We want to relay how grateful we are for each and every one of you. Please forgive any mistakes and potential technical difficulties as we figure out this new chapter in our lives.
Follow us on Instagram at Exploring the Entity and check us out on the visual side on YouTube at Exploring the Entity DBD. Until next time, deadlings, keep your eyes on the shadows, listen for the claws, because the fog doesn't just surround you, it waits for you.